Welcome everyone to the final quarterly report for 2024 for 5210 Fund 1. Capital metrics, those will generally stay the same. Not a lot of that's going to change. Capital balance will increase as investors reinvest their distributions. Stated valuation is pretty conservative, but that's kind of the MO over here. We always want to stay on the conservative side when it comes to valuations. Quarterly highlights focused on capital improvements, all the final CapEx work, and the infill of all the vacant lots we can fill has been the focus and will be the focus going forward. Interest rates remain higher than cap rates. That will be important for this portfolio on two fronts. One is as we prepare to exit in about 22 months, we are hopeful that interest rates will come down and that will be favorable to values. Our reporting dashboards are still in beta. Apparently, the technology is a little bit harder to implement than I thought. And then also the group that's executing that for us is a group of accountants who are busy this time of the year. So still hopeful that I'll get those reporting dashboards available before our next report. On the portfolio refinance and disposition, we're exploring Palo Verde Hills finance options. If you guys recall, about 18 months ago, our loan came due, our original acquisition loan came due. We went through a short-term kind of fixed rate bridge loan in the hopes that interest rates would come down, but they really haven't. So we're going to have to make a decision here and pull the trigger because that loan needs to be repaid. And on the business side, we set annual goals for the company, and then we set goals for the every park in the entire portfolio. And that includes annual budgets for expenses and income. That includes rent raise projections. That includes CapEx budgets and projects. That includes occupancy goals and home sales goals. So all of that was done across the entire portfolio. And then we hired an internal home sales manager. So prior to this, we were able to use dealers and um, agents that specifically had expertise in the sale of mobile homes and parks, and it was pretty successful. But what we're realizing is we can't pull all the levers. We think we get a lot more horsepower if we hire our own internal sales staff and build it out internally. On the portfolio side, 2025 is going to focus on all the final improvements, stabilize the portfolio, and then 2026 will be focused on positioning the portfolio for sale. Let's go through the parks. The OG RV Resort, not a lot happened in season, so Q4 was full of residents. We replaced the pool pump because it gave up the ghost on us, and then we discovered a septic issue. We began the investigation of that, but not a lot of activity there. Central Park Estates, we're rehabbing, we're doing rental returns, we're marketing to RVs. That's been the same thing that we have been doing. That park is probably reaching close to its velocity. Um, the only thing that's left is some vacant lots that I don't think we'll be able to execute on prior to sell. There's just not enough demand down there in that particular market. Melody Court, park-owned rehab. So we're down to two park-owned homes remaining that need to be rehabbed. And then we got four brand new homes delivered. So there were 4.5 vacant lots in this park. 0.5 meaning one of them is a weird shape. So we're not sure if you could even put a full-size home on there. But we got new homes delivered for all of the full-size spaces. So those will be set up over the next 90 days and we'll be selling those as well. Palo Verde Hills. We finished the water riser project in the entire park, and then we got two brand new homes delivered there as well. So that park has been full, Palo Verde Hills has, but there's some old junkers that when somebody dies or moves out, we decide just to clean up the park by putting something new there. And there's a lot of demand for homes of that size in that location. And then Country Breeze, we resumed the septic repairs. We're almost at the tail end of that. Septic repairs are or the septic problems that we experienced at this park was one of the reasons why we experienced such a reduction in income last year. So as we finish those repairs, you're going to see the cash flow go up. And then we're finishing park-owned home renovations there. We only have 4 remaining in that park. Performance metrics to date, this is slightly better than it was the prior quarter, so now we're back up to 110%. This is compared to where we thought we would be at this point in time when we originally purchased these parks. So we're about 10% ahead with respect to time. Distributable net cash flow this quarter, that increased by about 30 grand over the prior quarter. So, and this is has a lot to do with both a combination of rental raises that we did across the portfolio, but also, no, actually, that wouldn't be that because that didn't happen until next quarter. So it has mostly to do with the reduction of expenses on that septic issues that we were having at Country Breeze. This represents an 8.8 cash on cash return annualized, 6% to the LPs and 2.8 to the GPs. And then you'll see our current unit value increased to $1,200. Again, that's a fairly conservative number. It's based on the stated valuation that you see on page 1. Bottom line, cash flow increased by about 30,000 over Q3. We perform above the preferred return. We expect this kind of stable performance to move forward. And then our goal is to position the portfolio for exit. Distributions are in process. Your direct deposit should arrive in 1 to 3 business days. And then those of you who are still reinvesting will see your paid-in capital amount increase. You can see a copy of this report and the balance sheet and the P&L in the investor portal, and you can access that in the blue button top right corner of our website, 5210.com. That concludes our report. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again in 90 days.